Good morning and welcome to the daily cyber briefing for Friday, the 5th of July. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Volcano Demon ransomware gang, interestingly, is using threatening phone calls to intimidate senior executives into paying the ransomware. So yeah, it's an interesting one, this, isn't it? Because normally, certainly in my experience, you don't get to actually speak to the ransomware team or the ransom team. However, this particular group um, has been following up um, the normal demands with phone calls. So this particular group has developed their own ransomware known as Luca Locker, and it is designed to evade detection and analysis, and it's apparently quite uh, a quite a formidable threat if you actually do get hit with this. So, but the usual thing, you normally get the splash screens and the so on and so forth. This group exfiltrates data, kind of normal here. The normal methods of applying leverage to organizations is to threaten to release data or release samples of data to prove that they've got your data. Well, this will phone you up and tell you to pay. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, if you are thinking about your incident response plan and building out, the actions, and hopefully you've got that ratio of who does what, who's responsible for what, who's accountable for what. Maybe one to add into your planning is training your senior execs in how to deal with these sorts of things if they're going to get phoned up. So yeah, curious. Now, another one that isn't too surprising but is worth thinking about is that there seems to be a trend for threat groups to be using sites or apps that purport to be AI as a means of information gathering. So, particularly focused on um, typo squatting and other bits and pieces. So OpenAI's Sora and Google's Gemini have been uh, uh, used in this way. Well, the names have been used in this way, but there are other things. There actually, there are some that they're kind of making up and saying, "Look, here's a new AI um, uh, tool. Use this," and of course, they are in the background just gathering a whole lot of information. I mean, um, obviously, you should be careful. Firstly, be careful with any applications that you um, install on your devices or any websites that you are using. You should be careful to ensure that they are legitimate. But it also raises the question, which we've spoken about a lot, so no need to go into it in great depth at the moment, but you do need to be certain that you know what happens to the data that you give to even legitimate websites. So people put an awful lot of information into Google, and we know that they sell it. We have kind of become accustomed to that, which is okay. People are putting a lot more information into certainly these chat GPT type AIs. And I don't think people really think about what is going on in the background with that data. And then just, to put that in context, I saw an article yesterday that in Brazil, the authorities are potentially going to be banning AIs from using data for learning exercises because of privacy concerns. The privacy, I forget which one it was now. I think it was for the one from Meta, but it was basically saying it can be trained using anything that you put into any of Meta's applications or services, which has got some very interesting connotations from a privacy perspective. So not just the public stuff, but all the stuff. So yeah, there's certainly some stuff to worry about there. But then, obviously, if you are not careful and you put your crown jewels data into a actually malicious AI, yeah, that is not a cool thing at all. So interestingly,